could be done to repair the breach. As Fraser waters poured in,
no one could have predicted that the construction methods used on the dikes in the Fraser Valley after the Great Flood of 1894 wouldn't hold up, resulting in devastating consequences 50 years later.
By 1948, again, a flood of the century year, these dikes that had been built 50 years earlier were in very poor condition. The community just scrambled to reinforce the dikes, and unfortunately in a couple of spots they didn't hold, and you ended up with floodwater spilling onto parts of Chilliwack.
Here in this churning and boiling flood lies the making of tragedy.
June 10, 1948, after a record snowpack and high temperatures, the Fraser reached a peak elevation of 7.6 meters at Mission. Billions of gallons of water spilled the river's banks. Nearly 1/3 of the entire lower Fraser Valley had been flooded. Farmland was buried under silt and thousands were displaced.
This was the 1948 mark, right about by this notch here.
So how deep is that?
Well, I would say it's about 3.5 feet at the church. If you notice, the land over that way is quite a bit down. There was about 12 to 14 feet of water over there.
It was into the sink, was up the top of the range.
So how do you clean out a couple of inches of mud on your feet?
A shovel and a hoe. Lots of elbow grease.
About 500 people who actually had to evacuate their homes in 1948. There were many homes lost, certainly barns and livestock, particularly chickens. And the effects lasted for months after the June flood. So it did impact the community in a very big way.
It took an army of over 30,000 volunteers to repair the dikes. Estimated damage over $150 million in today's dollars. 5 decades later, what are the chances the dikes will fail again?
The potential is there, but again, the engineered dikes are built to withstand, that flood conditions that may occur every 200 years. So it's a matter of vigilance now rather than, going into a crisis mode where the potential exists for the dikes to actually break.